welcome to my kitchen. I'm Tiara, and this is an episode of Bake Test Taste Test. So what is Bake Test Taste Test? Well, in short, I try baking recipes I've never made before, and then I try them and taste them and see how they are. So occasionally I'll do a comparison, like when I did a comparison of sour cream pie crust to the traditional pie crust. But today we're not going to be doing a comparison recipe. We're just going to be making a recipe that was sent to me. And it's actually from the Disney Parks blog. And those of us on the West Coast, you know, we're dealing with this pandemic. Disneyland has been closed. And one of the things that you don't really think about unless you're like a really avid park goer is the food in Disney. Disney comes up with a whole bunch of different crazy, tasty holiday foods. And this year they have in the Disney World Park a gingerbread cream cheese muffin. Disney actually posted on their blog the recipe for the gingerbread cream cheese muffins. And since gingerbread is one of my favorite winter flavors, or probably one of my favorite things overall, I decided I want to try to make this. So let's go ahead and see how we make this, how easy it is, and how it tastes. Oh, and those who want to know, these are sold in the Isle of Java and Harambe Fruit Market at the Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. So let's go ahead and get started. We start with the cream cheese filling, which is a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ tablespoons of unsalted butter, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1 egg yolk, and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. Now it told me to combine the butter and sugar and beat in the cream cheese, and then add the egg and the lemon. I did that ahead of time because it says that it needs to chill for at least 2 hours up to 3 days. So I did this earlier because I didn't want to have to sit around and wait for 2 hours before I started filming. So that is ready. So now we will move on to the actual muffin itself. So that's 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 1/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ground cloves, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 cup of canola oil, 1/2 cup light brown sugar, 3 tablespoons molasses, 3 tablespoons honey, 2 eggs, 1 cup of buttermilk, and then the cream cheese filling. A couple of things. I'm gonna go rogue even though I'm trying out this recipe. First of all, I didn't have buttermilk, and we don't really use buttermilk for much of anything. So what I did was I took a cup of milk and I added a tablespoon of lemon juice. And if you let that sit for about 10 minutes, that will create that buttermilk for you, or that buttermilk flavor for you. And you can also use, instead of a tablespoon of lemon juice, you could use a tablespoon of white vinegar. But I use lemon juice since we use lemon juice for the cream cheese. And as far as the spices go, instead of mixing all of those spices together, I got this gingerbread spice mix from the Solvang Spice Merchant while we were in Solvang. And it has ginger, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, and then black pepper and allspice. So it's like a pretty traditional Scandinavian gingerbread spice mix. So I'm going to try that instead of mixing the spices together. Let's go ahead and get started with all of the instructions. Preheat oven to 325, done. Prepare a muffin pan with 12 liners and set aside, done. Now sift flour, ginger, etc., baking powder, baking soda, and salt into a medium bowl and set aside. So I'm just going to dump these all together and then sift them. Ooh, that pepper and the gingerbread spice really like tickles the back of your throat, but you can smell it. It smells really good. Oh, and there's the pepper. I just sifted it out, so maybe I'll kind of dump that back in. Okay. Set aside, check. Combine oil, brown sugar, molasses, honey, and egg in a bowl of electric mixer fitted with the whisk attachment. Okay, where did I put my whisk attachment? All right, first let me add in all of these things and then I will get the stand mixer. So it says you can use oil or butter, but I'm going to use oil because I'm going to guess that's what they normally use when they're making this at the park. Half a cup of light brown sugar. It didn't say packed or not packed, so I packed it for extra brown sugarness. 3 tablespoons of molasses. Ooh, that's strong. Molasses is very sticky. And 3 tablespoons of honey. This is honey from Sunridge Farm in Lindenborough, New Hampshire, which is a gift that a friend of mine brought me. His friend owns this farm. Right. It says mix on medium speed until combined, and then reduce speed to low and add the buttermilk until incorporated. So first let me wash my hands and then I'll grab the stand mixer and we'll do all that. That is a big, goopy, sticky mess. Eggs. Add flour mixture on low speed until combined. Add flour mixture and mix on low speed until combined. Scrape sides of mixture and mix an additional 30 seconds. The batter will be slightly lumpy. Okay. So this is the mixing until it's combined. I can definitely see why it wants me to scrape the sides because there's a lot of this that did not actually go in when mixing. All right, and another 30 seconds. All right, scraping down the bottom because that molasses and sugar mixture was very sticky, and I just want to make sure it got all incorporated. I added a little bit more gingerbread mix because, or gingerbread spice mix. Because the flavor was very light. If you think about it, I put about a tablespoon in and, well, 3 teaspoons of ginger, 2 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, and then the nutmegs and cloves is almost 2 tablespoons. So now that I have another tablespoon in, much better. It's got that nice gingerbread spice flavor. You can taste the molasses and you can definitely taste the honey. So scoop batter into prepared muffin pan, filling each cup 3/4 of the way full. So I'm just going to start by putting 1 scoop in each. That way I can hopefully get fairly even. A big mess of this. Okay, it says place the cream cheese filling into a piping bag fitted with a large round tip. Insert the piping tip into the center of each muffin, piping about 1 tablespoon into the center, then pipe a swirl around the top of the muffin. Okay, I don't have a large round tip, but what I do have is a large star tip, so I will use that. Not sure how I'm going to do a tablespoon inside and a swirl. And I'll just do like a swirl around half of it because I don't think there's going to be enough to cover all of this. There was definitely not enough cream cheese to do a swirl around all of these and do a tablespoon on the inside. Although, to be fair, I could have put maybe more than a tablespoon on the inside, especially the first couple ones. So just add what I can to what I can. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes until the top of the muffin is firm when touched. So I will bake these for 20 minutes and then we'll check in and see if it needs more time or if it's ready to go. Okay, come out of the oven. They are cooked after 20 minutes. I did stick a toothpick into, not the cream cheese part, but the gingerbread part, just to make sure that it came out clean, so that these are done. So now it says to allow them to cool before serving. So you can kind of see they spread a little bit. The ones on your right, my left, kind of spread out. The cream cheese in the middle of the first two I did kind of caved in. Overall, they look okay. Like I said, I don't think that there was enough cream cheese filling to put a tablespoon inside each and then put a swirl on the top. And I think that maybe I did use too much cream cheese in the middle. So maybe next time I would start by piping the swirl and then pipe in the rest of the cream cheese into the center. Or more likely what I would do is double the recipe. And so you use a full 8 ounces of cream cheese to give me more of that filling, because it actually did taste really good. So let's go ahead and let these cool and then we'll give them a taste and see how they are. All right, I've given the muffins time to cool. As you can see, some of the middles kind of caved in, which is another reason that I think maybe I used too much of the cream cheese in the center. But overall, they look pretty good. I felt like there was not enough cream cheese portion, and there was actually slightly too much of the gingerbread batter, because I was able to make 2 whole extra muffins without any cream cheese, but there wouldn't have been enough to put much more into 12 separate muffins. So I think maybe we should go ahead and try to taste one of these. This is a gingerbread cream cheese muffin that I found the recipe for on the Disney blog. So it's a recipe that they serve inside of Disney World.
That sounds good.
Let's look at the inside real quick. You can see it kind of like fell down, but it's fine.
As long as it tastes of cream cheese,
yeah.
Good. That was really good. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not too sweet.
But the ginger doesn't like overwhelm everything else, which is good too.
Yeah. I think I added the perfect amount of gingerbread spice to it. And I do like the cream cheese. The cream cheese is tasty. I think it had me use like half of a container of cream cheese, so like 4 ounces. I think next time I would use like twice that. I would use way more cream cheese. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You can have that.
Very tasty, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's it. So I would say that this taste test was successful. It was a long time to make because it took a while to get the cream cheese to room temperature, and then it took 2 hours after making it to refrigerate it, and then I had to come back and make everything else. A little bit time consuming, but probably I would say worth it occasionally because it is really tasty. So let me know if you give this recipe a try, and I look forward to hearing feedback from you about what you would like to see next. So we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.